Right, so before we do some more video games, I want to talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which I did go to see in the cinema, like about, I think it was like 6 hours ago I went to see it, or 7 hours ago. It was a while back. I went to see it this morning. It's now like 5 p.m. over here, by the way. I went to watch it at like 10 a.m. this morning. And I'm not gonna talk about the movie in great detail or anything. I'm not gonna this is not me like reviewing the movie. It's more so just I'm just going to tell you my quick impressions of it. It's good. I like it. It's not amazing, but I liked what I watched of it. It was a good like popcorn flick, and seems like it builds on like the first movie in some ways. My only real problem with the movie was the pacing of it, or rather the lack thereof, because I feel like the movie, I think the runtime is like 80 or 90 minutes. It's like almost an hour and a half. I feel like they could have maybe made it a little bit longer than that, because some things just kind of like go really fucking quick, and then the ending's kind of like abrupt. It's like super fucking quick. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't want to like go into the whole thing right now, but overall, I enjoyed my time with the movie. But not everybody seems to be feeling that way. Specifically, the critics on Rotten Tomatoes are not feeling that way about the movie. Apparently, there's been some, let's just say, interesting reviews coming out from the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think it would be fun to have a look at some of them. So here's the Rotten Tomatoes page right now. It is 44%, which I guess is rotten rating for the tomato meter thing. 86 reviews. So I don't think any. I mean, there's like some user reviews, but it's not like verified yet. Like some people still can't watch the movie yet because a certain time of day and whatnot. I'm sure people in the US are only just now watching it. I watched it like 7 hours ago, like I said. But yeah, critics seen this movie for like maybe a day or two, like before it came out, and then they like put their verdicts up here. A lot of people were saying some interesting things. There's a bit of a discourse going on here with the critic reviews, so let's have a look at some of these, shall we? Let's start with a 3 out of 5. Like, this is not too bad. I'm not going to read the entire thing, I'll just... Yeah, sure. I'm just going to, like... Hang on a minute. See if I can... Is there, like, a tagline or, like, a final thing at the bottom? Okay, you know what? Maybe this is not the best place to start. Give me 1 second. Yeah, what? Oh, you know what? That's... Hang on. Right. View more. This is the way. This is the place to find this information. So 1.5 out of 5 lets us stop. Okay. C minus. This movie, like its predecessor, feels like a soulless machine. It's specific... Spe specific... Is that supposed to say specifically? Can you fucking spell? It's specifically made, but suffers from a fatal lack of imagination, warmth, and charm. Alright then, whatever you say, dude. I'm sorry, the word specifically, or how is that even spelled? Specifically? Okay, rule number 1 of being a movie critic, learn to fucking spell before you even write your fucking review, please. 3 out of 5 from Jack Martin. As far from perfect it may be, Mario lovers will find themselves enjoying the bright and colourful nonsense of a sequel that maintains enough playfulness and fun to make up for its lack of simplicity. Not bad at all for a 40-year-old plumber. I mean, that one's kind of middle of the road. That's passable, I guess. But yeah, some people really fucking hate this movie from what I've seen. Like, there was one review that I heard about where, like, someone's, like, talking about stabbing themselves with a pen because the movie was just that unbearable. I don't know if I'll come across that in the next 10 minutes or so, but I'll see if I can find it. So let's see. Spencer Perry gives it a 3 out of 5. A movie with memorable moments that are bite-sized enough for short attention spans and not to trigger copyright protections on YouTube when they're ripped later and uploaded for the tune of 1 million views. Okay, here's a bad one. Nina Starner for 3 out of 10 review. The Super Mario Galaxy movie didn't need to be that deep, but it didn't have to be this shallow either. Okay. 2 out of 5. Falls into a classic sequel trap, bigger, busier, and far less focused. 2.5 out of 5. Bigger does not necessarily... Let me make this bigger, actually. Bigger does not necessarily mean better. While the sequel reaches for the stars quite literally... Sorry, I'm just fixing this. Hang on. Right, there we go. That was a bit better. So, while the sequel reaches for the stars quite literally, it rarely finds anything of substance once it gets there. 2.5 out of 4? Wait, why is it not 5? The Super Mario Galaxy movie is at least a hop in the right direction. I guess they weren't a fan of the first one. Kane Noble Davies, whatever that is, 13 out of 20. So that seems to be one of the more positive ones, it seems like. A beautiful letdown. Alright, never mind then. Let's see, David Poland. I think the filmmakers were intent, as many sequel directors are, on squeezing in everything they imagined, but couldn't include the first time around. As a result, the film had too much action, but not enough story or character. I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with that. It did have a lot of action in it, but there was like a little bit of kind of story, even if there wasn't a whole lot of it, but yeah, I think there was just enough. But, you know, Mario isn't exactly well known for storytelling, as we all know, but the first movie was simple either, but, you know, it got the point across. So let's see. Heavy Officer, or Offer, sorry. It would be more entertaining to watch your money flush down the toilet than watch this unimaginative, vapid, and soulless cash grab. Alright then, not a Nintendo fan. The Super Mario Galaxy movie will power up the global box office in a vibrant sequel with amazing CGI action scenes. It's all fan service, but with an admittedly flimsy plot, which, you know, plot's not that big, but, you know, it doesn't need to be for a Mario movie. But that's okay, the eye candy is totally worth the price of admission. Pratt, Day, and Glover and Larson voice beloved characters going through IP motions. 2 out of 4. The best thing I can say about the Super Mario Galaxy movie is that somewhere, bubbling underneath its cinematic surface, there's a film with an abundance of heart and humanity trying to run, dash, and jump its way into our lives. Sorry if I'm really bad at reading these, but yeah, there's just a whole bunch of stuff here. Let me see if I can find one that's like... I'm sure somebody's put 0 out of 10 somewhere. Let's see if we can find one of those. Get ready to paint eyes onto your eyelids so that the kids don't catch you snoozing. Okay. 3 out of 5, C minus, 7 out of 10, 2 out of 5. But there's just a lot of, like, bad, like, kind of mediocre to bad ratings, which I'm kind of surprised about. Like, there's just a lot of people saying that they don't like the movie. I mean, you can not like something, but the amount of people that are saying this kind of surprises me. But then again, I'm not really one to take critics all that seriously, but, you know. The Super Mario Galaxy movie and its vibes and quips and video game references might delight Nintendo files without ever having to tell a story. But if this is all we're going to get from Nintendo cinematic offerings, I'll opt to not play again. Just wait till the Zelda movie. I'm sure there'll be a more story-driven, narrative-driven thing going on in that. Like, this is just a silly cartoon movie for, like, babies, basically. So I think some people are just kind of looking a little bit too deep into this, thinking, oh, this has got to tell the best story ever. And it's like, it doesn't really need to. It's fucking Mario. What do you expect? Do you expect, like, a Pokemon movie to, like, tell a fucking in-depth story? It's certainly an entertaining, occasionally breathtaking animated movie adventure, but there's an apparent lack of substance that prevents it from being as impactful as it could have been. For a piece of intellectual property exploitation, it's created with far more craft and care than it had to be. Okay, here's an actual good review. 9.5 out of 10, that's quite high actually. I don't even think I would give it a 9.5, I think I'd give it maybe like an 8-ish. Maybe 8.5. I liked the movie. I didn't love it, but I liked it. Right, so A welcome follow-up to the Super Mario Bros. Movie franchise. Super Mario Galaxy movie should have no trouble leveling up at the box office. I think someone said something like that already. Well rooted in nostalgia, the Super Mario Galaxy movie delivers a visually stunning and forward-moving expansion of Nintendo's universe. Hyperactive, but fans will still like it, as will the kids. Makes sense. Right, here's a bad review. Bowser, Princess Peach, and Yoshi are standouts, but still these movies remain inaccessible to non-gamers. Not really a movie with like story structure and character arcs, but more of a celebration of the Super Mario games. Nintendo fans should be delighted. A fun-filled sequel that outshines its predecessor. Can I sort these by... Hang on, can I sort these by, like, rating? Oh, wait a minute. Top critics. I don't know if I can sort by rating necessarily, because that would make things easier to find, like, the bad ones. Right, let me see. 1 out of 5 from Peter Bradshaw, Guardian. Of course it's intended for little kids. Oh, they actually figured that one out. But it surely didn't need to be such a visually dull screensaver of a movie with even more of the cheesy Euro knockoff look of the first film. Okay then. Tim Garrison from Screen International. These comparisons aren't meant to evoke warm nostalgia, but the old-fashioned game sequences actually prove far more exhilarating and charming than what this leaden blockbuster has to offer. Okay. Claresi Lokerke, I don't know how to say that, from The Independent. 2 out of 5. There's barely a plot here. Not a single memorable character. Not even another piano ditty for Jack Black to sing. It's a series of large, vaguely connected explosions. Not every scene in that movie had an explosion. It's not directed by Michael Bay. Let's see what we got here. Let's go down a little bit further. What about this one? William... So lacking in substance and purpose that after a while you just can't hear the dialogue over the incessant sound of Aristotle's ghost punching himself. What do you mean? That's a bit of a weird way of putting it, but alright. So, Eli Friedberg from the Slant magazine, which I've never heard of. 1.5 out of 4. This film is an unpretentiously vapid cocktail of big budget technical mastery and lack of artistic ambition. Yeah, I use big words. Look at me. I'm important. Oh, fuck. 1.5 out of 5. This was put up 8 minutes ago, by the way. This is like... I think this was put up after I started reading these. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is barely a movie to begin with. It's lowbrow entertainment with no ambition beyond selling more product. I mean... yes, but also no, but also yes. I mean, it's clearly meant to be, like, just a companion piece to, like, Nintendo video games and stuff. Like, it's mostly just, oh, you like the video games? You're, like, a fan of Mario? Well, this is basically just more of that. But they really have to, like, be super fucking, like, a little bit on the nose with their wording of that. Like, they say that like it's a bad thing. Again, people are, like, kind of, like, looking way too deep into this movie. Like, a silly cartoon movie about Bing Bing Wahoo Jumpman that's meant to be for babies. And they're just like, oh, this is not artistic at all. Oh yeah, here's the one I saw. Let's stop. Let me go back down, see if I can find... I think I've seen this one. Load more. I think I've seen all of these ones. Right, so let's see. Eric Goldman, a YouTuber. Okay. It's more of the same but lesser. Kids will enjoy it, and it can give adults that nostalgia buzz. But the movie doesn't figure out much to do with its heroes. It's empty calories. Right, so coasting solely on its IP recognizability rather than telling anything of narrative or thematic substance, its lazy Histrionic Soulless Slop. Right, I'm not sure if I am going to find this review in the next 10 minutes, guys, so what I'm going to do real quick, let me just get the image that because I was watching a thing on YouTube called Newswave, and one of the reviews that they've shown is, like, really fucking scathing, and I want to show you it because it sounds hilarious when you just read it out loud. Hang on a minute, let me just save this. Put it there, and right, you want to see one of the fucking most batshit insane reviews you've ever heard of in your life? Yeah, check this one out. This is an actual critic review for this movie, by the way. So, 0 out of 10 from the Times. This film is torturous to sit through and, for me, provoked periods of actual physical discomfort. I had to stab myself repeatedly in the hand with a pen to distract from the howling distress. It's that bad and that offensive. Dude, if you're basically reacting to a Mario movie in this manner, I don't think that's a problem with the movie, but more like a problem with you. I think maybe you should be spending less time in this theater and actually more time like getting psychiatric help at this point. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you, but stop it. Get some help. Did we even see the same movie? Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Like, I don't get why some people are like being that like. It's a little bit of hyperbole in there, but part of me thinks that they're being serious. But I don't know. Right, let's see. There's a flat, empty nothingness to the Super Mario Galaxy movie, even more than its flat, empty predecessor, and that's a huge bummer. But yeah, as you can see from all these critic reviews, definitely a bit of a divide here between the critics and the fans, I guess. So let's see, Radio Times. Returning us to the lurid, trippy Mushroom Kingdom, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is equally barmy, if not as fresh as or as funny as his predecessor. Whereas a cosmic beast like Cthulhu or Azathoth at least possesses all-knowing knowledge, in addition to their sanity-breaking powers of a terror, a horror like the Super Mario Galaxy movie retains no vaguely redeeming qualities. Why are you comparing a movie for babies to Cthulhu, the Lord of all fucking evil? Random, but okay. 0 out of 5. This film is torturous to sit through, and for me... Oh, this is the actual review! The one that I just brought up, guys! Yeah. Wait a minute, you know what? I need to see more of this. Hold on a minute. Can I... Wait. Oh, don't tell me I need to fucking spend money to, like, actually read this bullshit. What do you mean? I'm not fucking giving you money to look at your goddamn article. Fuck you. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is a non-stop barrage of stuff with no meaningful connection or cohesion. It's cute and breezy and rock stupid and will probably make $1 billion again. Such is the world we live. I mean, there's more stuff out there that can make $1 billion, you know, like the Minecraft movie. Fucking Chicken Jockey. So much wasted popcorn on the cinema floor. Of course it's intended for little kids, but it surely didn't need to be such a visually dull... Oh, I read this one already. Let me go down a little bit further. Let's see. These comparisons are meant to evoke warmness that... I think I read this one. Let me go... Hang on. Did I see an IGN one just now? Wait, where was that? Ah, here it is. Clint Cage from IGN Movies. 6 out of 10, so relatively favourable, not terrible. It's fun seeing all that stuff on screen, but some kind of relatable story thriving underneath these references is not as effective as it could be. Alright. Now let's see, what do we have here? Trying to find like a fairly scathing review. I've seen this one already. Some of these names are familiar. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of the same stuff. Super Mario Galaxy once again delivers an immersive and charming Mario experience while treating story and storytelling as an afterthought. Like, that I can kind of agree with. Again, it's not really... Like, I've always considered the Mario franchise to not be, um, a heavy hitter in the storytelling department, and I feel like the movie should be no exception, even though it's a movie, but it's mostly just, oh, it's a silly thing based off of a video game. If you're a fan of the video game, you'll like it, but if you're not... Okay, here's my perspective on these, like, critics and, like, what I think is the reason why they're going so fucking hard on this movie, like, the ones that are, like, giving it, like, 0 out of 10 and whatnot. I think if you don't like the movie, you fall into one of three camps. One, you don't play video games. Two, you're not a Nintendo fan. Three, you're not a father or a mother or have any kids or have any, young ones that want to go watch a funny cartoon movie for babies. So you basically fall into one of those three camps. I can't see you being in any of them if you if you're fucking talking about, like, stabbing yourself in the hand with a pen because you thought that the movie was just that unbearable. So yeah, that's kind of what I think. That's just my opinion, of course, but I don't know what you guys think. I just think some of these reviews are, like, really fucking funny because it's like I often feel like that critics are, like, just being contrarian just for the sake of being contrarian. Like, they're just like, "Oh, people like this, so I'm gonna hate it. Yeah, I'm being a rebel." Like, that's basically what it kind of feels like. So what I'm gonna do is all audience. So here's the audience reviews as a comparison. Like, obviously not every person in the audience is gonna like it either, but I think a lot more of them will be looking at this positively as opposed to looking at it negatively. Right, so let's see, Caitlin. 5 stars. Very entertaining and more nostalgic than the first movie. Wait, how can something that just came out compared to something that came out 3 years ago be more nostalgic? That I mean, I guess I kind of see the logic with what they mean, like it makes more references to more nostalgic stuff. But technically, the movie itself is not nostalgic. You have to wait at least a year before you get that feeling. Okay, there's one I can't read. Haven't watched it, but I will watch it. Wait, why are you putting a review down if you haven't even watched it? What? If you go into this expecting some sort of cinematic masterpiece with a plot rivaling Oppenheimer, then this movie is not for you. But if you play and love Mario games, then seeing your favourites on the big screen is an absolute treat. I went in for fun, and I went in with only fun in mind, and that's what I got. I saw my favourite princess, Rosalina. I'm not going to read all this because it might be spoiling stuff, but you get the idea. Like, that person gets it. Like, he understands. Like, it's not something you should look that fucking deep into. Like, it's a simple popcorn flick that's basically just a fan service thing for, like, Mario fans or, like, for young children. And some of these people are, like, expecting it to be, like, Citizen Kane or something. uh, but yeah, it's just funny to me. A beautiful remaster of one of the best Nintendo games ever produced. What do you mean remaster? A remaster is not a movie adaptation of a video game. I guess they didn't know what the word meant. Rosalina's my favorite princess. The movie made me love her even more with great acting. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't as good as the original. The story was too straight to the point rather than having a build up. And okay, I'm not going to read more than that. A must see, simply amazing, super funny, great laughs for the whole family. Best moving history I've ever watched. What? Super fun. Free popcorn Tuesdays and Mario Kart before the show was a great experience. Oh, that sounds cool. I wish we did that. I would have loved to play, like, fucking Mario Kart World on, like, a giant cinema screen. An absolute must-see for Mario fans. Top-notch animation, but that doesn't help the lack of imagination in the writing. The set pieces are good eye candy, however, the film chews through scenes at such a breakneck pace, and it's really hard to take anything in. I will agree the pacing is a bit of an issue with the movie. Like, it's fine. I just feel like things move along a little bit too fucking quickly. Maybe if they like added like 20 minutes to the runtime, that wouldn't be an issue. But I did have an issue like that with like the pacing. The term remaster does come from movies and series, but it's not used properly. Ah, okay then. Decent film, graphics and storylines as good as the first film. Yoshi's so stinking cute. The characters were so good too. The star characters. Yeah, the little Lumas. Oh, I do have something to show you guys in a little bit, but I'll hold on to that for now. Right, well, I'm not going to read any more of this. I think I've got my fill of this little distraction. I was going to do this for like 5 minutes, but I think I spent like almost half an hour just looking at these reviews. But yeah, I might do like a separate video in the future where I like talk about my full thoughts once I've like, had some time to think it over. But I'm not going to do that today. Like, today is not really about that. I'm just going to tell you that in general, if I could summarize it, I really like the music. I really like the movie in general. The visuals are still pretty good, and there was some pretty good, funny moments in there. Like there was a moment that was like really fucking funny to me. Like I think I had a few people in the cinema laughing at one of the moments where I think it like kind of struck a chord with like the humor. And other than the pacing problem, it seems like a fairly inoffensive movie. It's not something that's worth stabbing your hand in with a pen, but hey, that's just me. But yeah, I think it's a decent film. I think if you guys like the first film, you'll probably enjoy the second one. So yeah, up to you if you want to do that. But yeah, I just wanted to share my 2 cents on that. It's weird how fucking hard the critics are going on the review. Like they're the movie review. Like they're talking about it like it's just the worst thing ever, and it's like, is it really though? I'm sure there's like worse stuff out there. But yeah, I am gonna stop talking about that now. We will move on from talking about the Mario Galaxy movie to playing Mario Galaxy. So let me just set that up.